Let's start with the NPP. A disqualified parliamentary hopeful of the Ayawaso West Wagon constituency, Samuel Owusu-Amankwah, has vowed to appeal the decision by the party's vetting committee after alleging that he was offered money to rescind his decision to contest incumbent MP for the area, Lydia Seyram Alasan.
I know this is a grand scheme against the youth of Ghana. This is not just against Amankwah. This is just against the youth of Ghana, because I heard somebody say that you are too young. But I tell them, look at J.A. for His Excellency. He was a minister at the age of 28. When are the youth going to rise up and then take their future in their own hands? We are taking our future in our own hands now. I was told I will be paid for everything I spent on this campaign. Gentlemen, I'm not too rich. I don't have so much money. But what we are pushing for is not money. Look, people feel the youth of Ghana are all about money. No, it's about changing the status quo, changing the future of this country, taking the future into our own hands. That's what matters. It's not about what people are going to pay to us. I didn't go into this election because of my pockets. No. In all humility, I can feed myself, my family, and those who are in need.
Now, the vetting of parliamentary candidate hopefuls of the NPP in the Greater Accra region by the close of Friday is expected to select 14 candidates to represent the party heading into the general election this year. Kenneth JC visited some centers for JoyNews.
The race for the parliamentary elections of the ruling New Patriotic Party has begun as vetting commenced today to vet the possible candidates to lead in their various constituencies heading into the December 7th elections. And here at the shelter in Teshi, big wigs and popular names and faces trooped in to be vetted by their party. Let's listen to some of them.
My chances are fantastic. My chances are fantastic because I have just the one message for the Dome-Kwabenya delegates, that we need a united front to break the 8. We need to take breaking the 8 seriously. And they know me. They know I'm ready to serve them with humility, with love, with care, with attention and diligence.
An age of technology. Biometric is biometric. And the key I have is a biometric key. It's not a key that anybody else can just touch. So I have the biometric key. So it's a Midas touch key that no matter what you do, we can't give to anybody else.
One of the key constituencies to look out for is the Dome-Kwabenya seat, where the incumbent MP, Sarah Adjuasafo, will be looking forward to being fourth time lucky, but she faces a stiff opposition in a familiar face in the person of Mike Okwe Jr.
You know, when you're a parent and your child does something wrong and you pick up a belt or a cane to beat up the child and the child immediately kneels and says, "Mommy, I'm sorry," you'll be touched and you leave the cane or the belt. It takes a woman of courage. It takes a courageous politician to accept that I've done something wrong. Forgive me. And that is what has touched the hearts of the people of Dome-Kwabenya. And I know they still would vote me into power.
Well, I mean, we're very confident, but at the same time, we're humble to acknowledge that everything is up to God. I contested the first time in 2011. I lost. I didn't contest in 2016 because I didn't want it to look like you are chasing a seat around. I wanted to give ample time for 2 terms before I came again in 2020.
Well, over 60 parliamentary aspirants for the New Patriotic Party have been vetted in the Ashanti Regional Office. Now, one of the 5 aspirants for the Ahafo-Ano Southwest Parliamentary Primaries, Opokwa-Renier, has withdrawn, citing his quest to preserve the integrity of the polls in the constituency. Ashanti Regional NPP Secretary Kwame Adomapia confirmed official receipt of his withdrawal.
128 parliamentary aspirants are expected to be vetted in 2 stations in the Ashanti region. The process completes a constitutional mandate of screening aspirants before receiving the nod to begin campaign and contest the parliamentary primaries. The 4 vetting committees at the NPP Ashanti Regional Secretariat screened over 60 aspirants on the first day of the exercise. Regional Secretary Dome-Kwabenya confirmed the withdrawal of one from Akufo-Addo South West constituency.
His declared intention in writing, and he appeared before the committee and told the committee that looking at the terrain and the tension in there, he is ready to step down so as to reduce the tension and support whoever would be elected as a candidate for the constituency. On that score, he was not part of the balloting. He served me with a copy of his intention to. He served the committee chairman, he served national, and the committee heard him. So we are waiting for the outcome, whatever the committee will deal with in relation to monies already paid. That will be the prerogative of the committee.
Loud cheers echoed from supporters of aspirants as they headed to the vetting center. Several aspirants lauded the vetting process, describing it as smooth.
The process was very smooth. We all have to understand that NPP is a democratic party. And as such, when we came, we were made to pass through the usual rules and regulations governing the primaries. I'm number 3. This is a clear indication that I'm the winner, signifying Trinity. When I came in 2017, I was able to bring on board 108 projects. I'm just throwing a challenge that when I win, I'm going to make sure that within the first year, all the 10 roads, the contractors will come on board and will make sure that the roads will be tarred.
And I believe that the party officials will qualify me to stand as an MPP parliamentary candidate in Akufo-Addo. Delegates will vote for Akufo-Addo because what I am doing in Akufo-Addo, I don't think, as they say, has ever happened in Akufo-Addo. And I believe that they know what is good for the constituency, and I have confidence that they will bring me as their parliamentary candidate to become the MP in Akufo-Addo.
I'm very sure that I'm going to go to by the grace of God that we serve. I am able and competent for this job. Why am I saying this? My people want somebody who cares for them. My people have somebody who believes in people-centric, where we put the people first and our obligations become later. Over some years now, I started something called Obi Foundation, and this foundation has tremendously make an impact in the constituency. I tackle from the health sector, I tackle the education background, and even as far as creative arts. So now the constituency are yelling. They are calling that Emmanuel Osebo should come and take the mantle from Honorable Francis Adabomanu because they believe that I can do the work for the constituency.
Mr. Dome-Kwabenya entreated aspirants to follow the rules of the party in the internal polls. Reporting for JoyNews, Clinton Yeboah.
While still in the Ashanti region, we bring you a wrap of the process in other areas.
With a build-up to the 27th January parliamentary primaries for the governing New Patriotic Party, the next step is for aspirants to pass through the vetting process of the party. At the office of the Vice President, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, supporters came along with the aspirants in a jubilant mood to throw their weight behind them as they pass through the vetting process today.
Well, this is almost like a ritual. Positions also on ballot papers is also very pivotal and critical. It forms part of the psyche of the ordinary voter. And so I am happy to announce that I was able to choose number 1 on the ballot paper. Anybody who followed the 2020 elections will tell you clearly that indeed I was number 1 on the ballot paper. And in the 2024 elections too, I have been able to choose number 1 on the ballot paper. It clearly shows that indeed, whatever that you put your mind to, you will be able to achieve it. I have no doubt in my mind that I'm going to come out victorious on the 27th of January 2024.
Oh, it was cool. It was smooth and very peaceful. Like I said, if you know what you are doing, then you can best describe it. I'm the incumbent MP. I believe in my relationship with the delegates. I've spoken with them. I know they are going to retain me.
It looks very simple. Last 4 years I contested. I won with a difference of about 3,500. This time we are looking at increasing the vote. And now we have a new flag bearer, that is Dr. Mahama. So we are working in collaboration with him so that we can increase the vote. And we are sure, poised of having a slight victory in Akufo.
Look at the vetting process. How was it?
Oh, it was peaceful, so smooth, because I'm unopposed. The atmosphere was less tense, and it was so friendly. It was more or less like a conversation. So it went very well.
Going into 2024, the general elections this year,
we are sure of victory.
You've passed through the vetting process. The main election is on 27th of January.
How do you know whether I passed through the vetting process?
I mean, you are done with the vetting today. And so 27, how does it look like for you?
The fact that I've gone through the process doesn't mean that I'm qualified to stand. You have to go through the process and wait for the results. So I don't know what the results are going to be.
But we should be hopeful that you would qualify. How does 27...
Be hopeful that I qualify. Why should I?
From all economic history and everything, Dr. Mahama stands head and shoulders over John Dramani Mahama.
So 2024 is a done deal for the NPP.
2024 will be a done deal for NPP.
So this is a situation on ground here at the party office of the Vice President Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, as the party holds the first day of the vetting process subsequently to the MPP's parliamentary primaries.
Let's head to the northern region, where one of the aspirants contesting for the Bimbilla slot of the party, Alhaji Ahmed Nuhu Zaruk, has called for calm within the party following yesterday's disturbances. Supporters of Alhaji Zaruk vandalized the party's constituency office after he was eliminated from the list of candidates for the vetting, which began yesterday. Not satisfied with the outcome, the supporters took to the streets in protest, but calm has since returned to the party.
Addressing a press conference in Tamale, spokesperson for Alhaji Zaruk, Alhaji Abubakar Umar, said the party has assured Alhaji Zaruk the process will be free and fair. It says the secretary, Justin Kodia, who gave him the assurance, insists the process will be fair.
He has spoken to the General Secretary of NPP, Honorable Justin K. Frimpong, and has been assured of fairness and justice in the process leading to the primaries. The regional secretary of the MPP has also called, inviting him for vetting tomorrow at 3 p.m. So please keep calm and relax. Alhaji Zaruk is very safe and calm where he is now.
Alhaji Abubakar also explained the process they had gone through earlier, filing the forms.
I want to add that I led Alhaji Zaruk to submit his nomination form to the Bimbilla Constituency Committee, Executive Committee, on Friday, the 22nd December 2023. The form was perused and accepted because all signings were done and there was nothing wrong with the form, according to the committee. I thank the youth of the constituency for their empathy. I thank the General Secretary, Honorable K. Frimpong, and the party executives, both regional and headquarters executives. I thank you, the media, and all the youth of Bimbilla constituency.
Well, former President John Dramani Mahama has threatened to hold to account officials of the current administration found to be involved in corruption. The NDC flag bearer noted in dismay how the national pride had been eroded through corruption and mismanagement of the economy. He said this in his New Year message.
We've all lived painfully through the challenges the failed Akufo-Addo administration has inflicted on us through their reckless mismanagement of the economy, poor governance, barefaced corruption, and profligate expenditure at the expense of socioeconomic and infrastructural development. As we start the journey in this new year, I'm here to offer hope to you all. I'm committed to repairing the damage done to our economy and creating a brighter future for all Ghanaians. In addition to these interventions, I am also passionate about the fight against corruption and uprooting poor governance to ensure that our resources are used responsibly and ethically. I firmly believe a transparent and accountable government is essential for building trust and confidence in our institutions. We will hold to account members of this administration who have abused the public trust by misconducting themselves in office. But more importantly, we would also allow unfettered space for the anti-corruption agencies to deal with anybody who abuses the public trust under my administration. By strengthening anti-corruption measures, promoting good governance, and upholding the rule of law, we shall create a fairer and more equitable society where everyone can thrive. We will reduce the size of government in our bid to cut down on expenditure. We will combine ministries and remove government agencies that are duplicating each other. In other words, we in government will also tighten our belts, even as we call on our people to make whatever sacrifices are necessary for our national revival.
Well, John Mahama also detailed plans to make his 24-hour economy vision viable. Central to the implementation of the policy is a prioritization of new recruits into the security service to provide protection for businesses during extended hours.
At the heart of my vision for economic revitalization is the implementation of a 24-hour economy. This innovative policy seeks to maximize productivity and efficiency by extending business hours and operations around the clock. Doing so will create a more dynamic and vibrant economy that benefits workers and businesses. A 24-hour economy will increase economic output and create well-paying jobs. It will also contribute to a more inclusive and accessible society, giving people the flexibility to work, to study, to shop, and enjoy leisure activities at any time that suits them best. The 24-hour economy will succeed because we shall provide improved security and public safety, which will require massive recruitment into the security services and private security operations. My government will provide cheaper and more reliable electricity for those participating businesses based on a time of use tariff system. Companies that sign up for the 24-hour economy will benefit from modern smart meters calibrated to charge a lesser tariff per kilowatt hour for power that is consumed during off-peak hours. Businesses that subscribe to the 24-hour economic policy will receive further tax incentives to reduce the cost of their operations and enhance their competitiveness. Financing support will be provided to strategic agro-processing factories and manufacturing companies through the Ghana Exim Bank to boost production, for import substitution, and for exports.
The Office of the Special Prosecutor says its investigation has confirmed that, in fact, an attempt was made to offer money to a section of the Majority Caucus of Parliament with the intention of influencing their demand on the removal of Ken Ofori-Atta as Minister of Finance. Now, Special Prosecutor Kisi Jabing, however, says his office cannot probe the alleged case. In an interview on Upfront, he revealed that they had been approached with financial inducement, but they rejected the bribery attempt. Watch this. Apologies, we are unable to bring you that soundbite, but reacting to the report, Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, Murtala Mohammed, says he is not surprised by the outcome of the investigation because he believes that Ashanti MP made the allegations in haste for the fear of the minority calling them out, reason he was not able to obtain any evidence to defend the allegation. He spoke on Pulse.
Remember when he made that statement? I said he made that statement because they knew that some of us had some information that there was an attempt to bribe them. I said this on your program. So it was not to demonstrate independent mindedness. As a member of parliament in a caucus, he was making that statement to preempt the information some of us had that there was an attempted bribery of the NPP caucus in parliament. Now, if he made that statement and the office of the special prosecutor is investigating a matter, what is your beef? You remember when the statement was also made that they rejected the bribe, and also when they came out and insisted that the Minister for Finance be forced to resign or sacked. People who work on democratic governance hailed them. At that time, I had senior lecturers on the campus of University of Ghana who hailed them and said that our democracy was indeed growing bounds and leaps. Unfortunately, what they have demonstrated is once again a weakness shown by the legislative arm of our government architecture. And that for me is extremely worrying.
What would you expect from the Speaker of Parliament? The question as to whether or not a parliamentary probe should be triggered at this point, because the OSP was instructive that indeed a wealthy man attempted to bribe some of the majority members of the House. Now he's confirmed that, except to say the individuals involved would not cooperate. You have the power in Parliament to at least trigger a parliamentary probe into this, because it's casting a slur on the entire membership of the House and not just the majority side.
Must we even be going to Parliament? Is the office of the special prosecutor not having the mandate and the power to demand response from Honorable Andy Appiah-Kubi and those who made those allegations? Because we are talking of corruption here. And that is where I have a little problem with the office of the special prosecutor. They refuse to cooperate. Don't they have the powers of a high court? If they do not, then I stand to be corrected. So the fact that someone is refusing to cooperate on an allegation that he himself made on national television, that ends the story. I'm a bit disappointed because bribe or attempted bribe are all crimes. Now you are unwilling to do so. I can only guess that perhaps they announced that they were not willing to, they refused to take this money, and perhaps would have gone back to take the money. Because if they didn't go back to take the money, why are they so scared? Why is he so scared to mention the name of the businessman? A businessman attempting to bribe members of parliament, a whole caucus. And you refuse it. You didn't even report that businessman to the police. You didn't do anything.
And that's how we end the news on the AM show. But we're just getting started. We'll be back with a news review with lawyer Bobby Banse.